Check this out.
This is a Chinese-built railway in the heart of Kenya. Yep, you heard that right. The SGR from Nairobi to Mombasa was built by Chinese developers.
Mali has signed an agreement with the China Railway Construction Corporation to renovate a rail line linking its capital, Bamako, to the border with
5 decades ago, China built a railway across Africa that defied the odds, helped liberate nations, and symbolized a friendship no one saw coming. Today, that same railway is crumbling, but China is back with a $1 billion plan to bring it roaring to life again. What's really behind this revival? Could it be the future of African trade or just another geopolitical power play? Let's find out. Chapter 1. The Forgotten Railway That Changed Africa. In the 1970s, 2 visionary African leaders, Julius Nyerere of Tanzania and Kenneth Kaunda of Zambia, faced a daunting challenge. Zambia, rich in copper and minerals, was landlocked with no direct access to the sea, limiting its ability to export vital resources to the global market. Tanzania, on the other hand, had a suitable seaport on the Indian Ocean, but lacked a rail connection to its western neighbor. This absence wasn't just a logistical inconvenience, it was an economic barrier, threatening the development and independence of these new nations. Western countries, still entangled in Cold War politics and wary of empowering what they saw as socialist-leaning African countries, declined to assist with this crucial railway project. Then came an unexpected ally, Chairman Mao Zedong of China. In a bold move symbolizing solidarity with Africa's liberation movements, Mao pledged to build the Tanzania-Zambia Railway, known as TAZARA. This railway would stretch over 1,860 kilometers, cutting through some of the most challenging terrain in Africa, including mountains, jungles, and expansive wilderness. According to ChinesePosters.net, construction took just 5 years, from 1970 to 1975, and was carried out by a workforce of tens of thousands of Chinese and African workers, around 15,000 Chinese and 45,000 Africans laboring side by side. TAZARA was far more than a transportation link. It was a powerful symbol of independence, South-South cooperation, and defiance of the colonial and neo-colonial powers that dominated Africa's economies. This railway represented hope, unity, and a new chapter in African self-determination. Chapter 2. TAZARA. TAZARA's real strategic importance was in providing a lifeline to Zambia and the mineral-rich Democratic Republic of Congo. Before TAZARA, these countries depended on trade routes that ran through apartheid-controlled South Africa and Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, both hostile, politically repressive regimes that heavily restricted trade and movement. This railway changed that dynamic. TAZARA created a reliable, politically safe route from Zambia into Tanzania's port of Dar es Salaam on the Indian Ocean. This enabled Zambia and DRC to bypass these hostile territories altogether, gaining direct access to global markets. Over more than 2 decades, TAZARA became the backbone for moving copper, cobalt, and other minerals, along with passengers and goods essential to the regional economy. According to TAZARA Authority archives, at its peak in the 1980s, the railway transported over 1 million tons of freight annually, mostly minerals vital for both African industrial development and export. It also transported hundreds of thousands of passengers, linking communities and economies across 2 countries. This railway wasn't just an infrastructure, it was freedom on rails, empowering landlocked nations to assert economic independence and regional integration. Chapter 3. Decline of a Dream. However, the dream began to dim by the 1990s. Several factors converged to erode TAZARA's efficiency and capacity. Chronic underfunding meant there was little money left for maintenance, and the aging tracks and rolling stock began to deteriorate. The railway infrastructure, originally state-of-the-art in the 1970s, hadn't kept pace with technological advances. Government mismanagement and corruption weakened operations further. At the same time, the region saw significant road infrastructure improvements, and freight and passenger traffic started shifting to trucks and buses, which offered more flexible, if less sustainable, alternatives. By 2024, freight volumes had plummeted to about 400,000 metric tons per year, less than half of its historic peak capacity. Passenger service, though still important, became unreliable and irregular, carrying approximately 450,000 passengers annually. Even with these struggles, TAZARA remains an essential artery for the region. It serves as a reminder of its past significance and underscores the ongoing need for reliable regional transport infrastructure. Chapter 4: China Returns. A turning point came in September 2024 at the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation in Beijing. Chinese President Xi Jinping met with Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan and Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema to sign a landmark agreement. China pledged a bold $1 billion investment to modernize and revive the TAZARA Railway. Under this agreement, the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, CCECC, was granted a 30-year concession to renovate the railway. This extensive plan includes refurbishing the worn tracks, upgrading communication and signaling systems, acquiring new trains and carriages, and revitalizing workshops and maintenance facilities. This project is more than infrastructure renewal. It represents a strategic partnership aimed at boosting regional trade, industrial growth, and strengthening diplomatic ties between China, Tanzania, and Zambia. The presence of all three heads of state at this signing signals the high-level political commitment and vision behind the deal. Chapter 5: From Rust to Green Steel. What is the envisioned impact of this upgrade? First and foremost, freight capacity is projected to triple from 400,000 metric tons annually to about 1.2 million metric tons in the first year after renovation, with estimates to reach around 2.4 million metric tons by the fourth year. This dramatic increase will make an enormous difference to the exports of copper, cobalt, and other minerals from Zambia and DRC, accelerating time to market while reducing costs. Moreover, the project fits into Africa's broader push for greener, more sustainable transport. Rail freight produces significantly fewer carbon emissions compared to road haulage, reducing road congestion and cutting pollution. This development aligns with Africa's vision for a green transport corridor, supporting industrialization while safeguarding environmental objectives. The upgrade also involves building new, modern maintenance hubs equipped with advanced technology to ensure the railway operates safely and reliably. Additionally, workforce training programs, combining Chinese expertise with local skill building, are planned to empower regional workers and ensure long-term sustainability. Ultimately, the revitalized TAZARA will do more than just move minerals and goods. It will catalyze economic growth, foster regional integration, and serve as a model for combining infrastructure modernization with environmental responsibility in Africa. Chapter 6: Africa's New Trade Arteries. Let's zoom out for a second because TAZARA's comeback isn't happening in isolation. Across the continent, China is on a railway building spree. Ethiopia-Djibouti, Kenya's standard gauge, Nigeria's Lagos-Ibadan line, just to name a few. But these massive tracks aren't just about moving trains. They're part of China's Belt and Road Initiative, a global infrastructure strategy reshaping how continents connect and trade. Now think of TAZARA as the spinal cord of Southern Africa's trade body. It could link landlocked countries, think Zambia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, straight to world markets via Tanzania's Indian Ocean coast. This isn't just a local upgrade, it's a continental game changer. And China's commitment is massive. They've funded over 5,600 kilometers of new railways in sub-Saharan Africa, which is about 8.5% of all the rail lines in the entire region, according to economic reports on BRI investment. Think about the implications: faster trade, more efficient export of minerals, and a real shot at kickstarting regional industrial growth. But it's not just about hardware. These connections help realize big ideas like the African Continental Free Trade Area, tearing down old colonial barriers and linking African countries like never before. Fast, reliable rail transforms fragmented routes into economic lifelines. Chapter 7: A New Scramble. But this story is about more than railways. It's about power, influence, and access to Africa's vast resources. TAZARA's revitalization is part of a bigger geopolitical contest. While China advances rail infrastructure through the Belt and Road Initiative, Western powers, led by the United States and European Union under President Joe Biden and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, are backing competing projects that vie for control in Africa. Take the Libido Corridor, a rival rail project cutting through Angola to the Atlantic Ocean. This corridor is designed to connect Angola's Atlantic ports with mineral-rich Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo, just like TAZARA connects them to the Indian Ocean. Why so much focus? Copper and cobalt. The minerals flowing along these rail corridors are essential for electric vehicles, batteries, and the clean energy revolution shaping the global economy. Securing reliable access to these resources has become a strategic priority for all major powers. Multi-billion-dollar investments are flowing into rail infrastructure on both sides, according to diplomatic analyses published in 2025. This is arguably a modern-day scramble for Africa, fought with dollars and diplomacy rather than guns and treaties. China wants a direct, secure route to export minerals through the Indian Ocean. The West wants continued influence through Atlantic ports. Both seek to embed their economic presence in Africa's future. Chapter 8. What's in it for Tanzania and Zambia? Here's where it hits home. What does the TAZARA upgrade mean for Tanzania and Zambia? First, jobs. The construction phase is creating thousands of roles: engineers, technicians, and laborers. Beyond the building, operational jobs in railway maintenance, management, and logistics will sustain livelihoods for years. Second, improved infrastructure means exports get to market faster and cheaper, something every miner and trader wants. With copper and cobalt particularly crucial for Zambia's economy, reducing transport times and costs means more revenue and stronger economic resilience. Both President Samia Suluhu Hassan of Tanzania and President Hakainde Hichilema of Zambia have emphasized technology transfer and workforce development as core goals. The plan is not only to bring in Chinese expertise, but to build local skills and capacity. In short, enabling Tanzania and Zambia to eventually run and innovate on their own. China's Belt and Road Initiative has contributed billions in loans and infrastructure financing to African countries, according to research on international development finance. This isn't just philanthropy, it's a major financial partnership with strings attached, and that brings challenges. Will the debt from these loans weigh on future generations? Will foreign entities ultimately control infrastructure deemed strategic? Critics ask, who really benefits, especially when rural communities often see the least impact? Good governance, transparency, and policies ensuring equitable benefits will be crucial to turning TAZARA into a truly transformative project, not a new form of dependency. Chapter 9. China's big bet on Africa. Is this truly a new dawn for African infrastructure or a strategic move by China to cement control over emerging global trade corridors? President Xi Jinping recently framed the TAZARA partnership as a testament to the enduring friendship and mutual prosperity between China and Africa. Those new trains won't just carry copper and cobalt. They will haul Africa's hopes of greater global economic integration and development. However, the global community watches closely. Will this massive Chinese investment enable African countries to build genuine independence and sustainable growth? Or will it deepen their reliance on external powers? China's Belt and Road Initiative already channels billions into African infrastructure, reshaping trade routes, and unfolding new geopolitical alignments. For Africa, the challenge is balancing the benefits of investment with the risks of debt and influence. TAZARA's future is a litmus test for infrastructure diplomacy. How Africa manages these partnerships will shape the continent's economic destiny. As this railway carries minerals to the world, it may also carry Africa's aspirations for growth, unity, and a commanding role in the 21st century global economy. The TAZARA Railway upgrade is more than new tracks and trains. It's a vital lifeline poised to transform trade, industry, and regional cooperation in southern Africa. More than infrastructure, it represents new opportunities, stronger partnerships, and a vision for a more connected, prosperous Africa. If you found this deep dive insightful, make sure to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more news of Africa's evolving economic landscape and global partnerships. Thanks for watching.